Welcome to Index.io, an on-demand eDiscovery software that lets you quickly and easily access your documents from anywhere. Adding data to a project is as easy as dragging and dropping it from your computer. Simply fill out the form and enter a custodian and a collection name. Then navigate to the files on your computer and select them for upload. You can also pull data from other places around the web if you're hosting your own FTP service, Amazon S3 server, or if you want to collect an email account. We also integrate with Dropbox and can collect a number of different forensic image types, including Celebrite, Oxygen, and Axiom data. Once you've started your data uploading, it'll begin to process, and this is where the real magic of Index.io happens. Each dataset added to Index.io is assigned its own processing environment, which means you can continue to add more and more data to a case without affecting what's already running. While your data processes, we'll identify duplicates, extract text and OCR images, identify potential personal information like credit card and social security number patterns, and so much more. When processing completes, you can review this information on the Post-Processing tab, where we display it on intuitive charts and graphs that are fully interactive. You could highlight a date range and then browse the corresponding documents, or take a look at the communication wheel and get an idea of who the major players are in your data. When you're ready to dig a little deeper into your data, Index.io has a number of different search features that will make it easy to find specific documents. You can use the basic search bar up at the top of your project to enter standard keywords, and then review the results down in the list. If you want to run more complicated searches, we also have an advanced search interface that you can access with the drop-down arrow at the end of the search bar. Here, you have a number of fields available on the left that you can drag out to the right and combine graphically in order to create complex searches that you can also save in the project and return to later. For example, we can set a date range for our search, add some keywords, and then specify a from field so that we're only looking for emails from a specific person between these dates that include these different keywords. To save the search so you can come back to it later, just hit the up arrow next to the search button, hit save, give it a name, hit save, and then you'll be able to return to it up in the top left here along with all of your other saved searches. Once you've searched for and found a set that needs to be reviewed, now it's time to create a batch. This is done by clicking the Batch button at the top of the list of results, and this can be done from the collection view, from any of the interactive chart interfaces, or from the search results that you're looking at here. Just hit the Batch button, give it a name, tell it how many files you want it to break each batch into. This set is about 200 files, so I'm going to have it break it into 4 50-item batches for me. Hit Start, and it'll create those batches. Batches are stored on the home page of a project, and if you're an admin or a review manager in the case, you'll be able to come here and see this burn down chart that helps track the progress of your reviewers. Underneath that, you'll see all of the individual batches that have been created and see the progress that's been made on each of these, who they're assigned to, whether it's a specific user or a user role, and then you can also edit and modify these over here on the right. As a reviewer, this is the first page you'll see when you come into a project, which means you can quickly jump into your review sets and start working on your data. If you want to pick up where you left off on a previous review, all you need to do is come over and click on the Not Reviewed number next to the batch that you've been assigned, and it'll take you right into the documents that you still need to work on. Once you click on a document, it will open it up in our review interface, where you can tag documents on the right and mark them as responsive, privileged, reviewed, or whatever tags you want to set up in your project. You can also apply notes down at the bottom here, or include a privilege log note if you're going to be doing a privilege review of your data set. Over here on the left, you have a nice PDF interface of the document where you can print or download this record. You can also redact files if you need, with this redaction button up here in the top right. And if needed, you can dig a little bit deeper into the information of this document by going over to the Metadata tab. Here we'll show you any metadata that was extracted from the record, such as the created date, email headers like to and from fields, as well as the original file name and our unique IIO identifier up here at the top. We also have an analytics tab where you can come to find more information about this record. For example, if you want to find similar resources, right here we'll have a contextual similarity comparison where you can find other records that have similar keywords to the one that you're looking at. So if you find a record that's particularly relevant to your case, or one maybe that you know is the opposite and it's junk and you don't want to see any others like that, you can come to this similar tab, browse through the records, and take a look and do some tagging to get these documents marked appropriately. If you're reviewing mobile data instead of regular data, the review interface looks a little bit different. When you come in to browse a mobile data collection, you'll see up at the top of this XML view. Open that up, and you'll see our mobile data viewer, where on the left you have the different conversations threads, and then on the right you can browse the actual individual conversations. When you're ready to save or produce some of these documents, you can either save the entire conversation by coming down to the bottom right and selecting that option, or you can select individual messages and highlight specific sections of these records that you want to save out and produce. These extracted conversations then become their own PDF records in your project, which you can access by coming to the Extracted Conversation Saved search over on the left. When you open one of these, it will show you the same review interface that we saw previously, where you can tag the documents over on the right, apply notes, reveal original metadata, or use any of our analytics. If you need to review any of the tags that have been applied to your documents so far, or if you want to just look at a tagged set, you can do so from the Tags tab. This is where we store all of the different project tags that you're creating and applying to your documents, as well as the system-created domain tags and other tags like export, duplicate, no text extracted, potential personal information. All of that info is available on the Tags tab, and you can come review any of these documents just by clicking on the tag name. One thing you might want to do on the Tags tab is come in and pull up any of your privileged items at the end of your review, and then run your privilege report. Running a privilege report in a project is just like running any other report. If you want to do so, you can hit the Download Reports button up at the top, select Resource Report, and then pick out the fields that you want to include, whether you want to grab all of our different metadata fields, or if you were doing a privilege log, maybe you just want our unique ID, the original file name, and some basic info like the email headers, and then of course our privilege note. When the report is done, you'll get a pop-up letting you download it, and you can also return to any reports that have been run in the project at any time by coming to the Reports tab. Once your review has been completed, it's time to export the data. Start by going to the Export tab and hitting Add Export, which will open up our easy 3-step wizard that will walk you through the whole process. The first step of this export wizard will let you select the data that you're going to be exporting. Highlight the collections over on the left that you want to use, enter any filtering on the right, and then check out our summary page at the very bottom. This is going to give you warnings about the different types of documents that are in your data so that you're not exporting documents that don't have pages or that didn't process correctly. Maybe you don't want to show any duplicate or redacted items so far. This summary section will let you quickly turn off those different items. Once you're ready to continue, check the box that says you've reviewed the above selections and hit Next. The second step will let you select the different output types that you want to include. So we're going to do a PDF export in color with a basic load file. Our load files are also completely customizable if you receive specific metadata requirements from the opposing counsel and they want you to have things formatted in a special way. You can come in here and customize your own load file with different headers, different fields, date formats, different delimiters, anything that you might need. The third step of export is going to let you select your Bates numbering pattern. So give it a prefix, pick your start number, and you'll see an example of the exported Bates number here at the bottom. You can also apply other different tags to your documents if you want at this point. If you wanted to label everything confidential, for example, you can simply type in this box, and it'll brand that in the bottom left. Once you're done, it'll give you a summary of everything and let you know up at the top how many files you're going to be exporting, how many pages, and what the size is, so you can get a rough idea of your cost for this export. Review all of the information and then hit Start. Index.io also provides a number of different tools for administrators and project managers. You can come into the admin area to access these different features. For example, we have an audit log that will track every click that's done in the project, everything that a user looks at, everything that they're tagging, exporting, all of that information gets stored here, so the whole project is very reviewable. You can come in here and make sure that your reviewers are actually working. They're looking at the documents that they're supposed to be working during the periods that they're supposed to be. It's a great resource to have. You can also set up different roles in your project to allow different levels of access for your users. You can come into each of these different roles and customize the permissions and even the documents that they're allowed to see via these tag restrictions on the right. For example, my user role is very basic. I just let people tag documents and create reports, and they won't see any duplicates or system files. I'll just filter those from their view automatically. You can also customize your tagging forms in the admin area, and these tagging forms are also customizable per user role. These are the tags that they'll see while they're working in the review system and applying different tags to their documents. The admin area also gives you a nice billing review page where you can come in and see when data was processed, when it rolled into hosting, how much data your project is currently hosting, and lots more information here below that. If you ever need some help in your project, you can come over to our support link on the sidebar, click on tutorials, and it'll take you to our suite of introductory videos, help articles, and other tips and tricks to work with Index.io. Pretty much anything you can do in the platform is explained somewhere in here, so if you're a do-it-yourself person, this is a great resource to learn about how to do different things. Thanks for watching, and keep Index.io in mind for your next eDiscovery project.